People always say, oh, you still have any money? I tell them, you didn't watch the end of the shoe, I lost everything. Ah, wow, wow, that's too bad. I said, no, Yishtabach Shemo, it's the best thing that ever happened to me. He's losing every single penny. She goes, what do you mean? How does that make any sense? I say, I didn't have Hashem, don't you understand? Don't you understand? Don't you understand? All the money in the world. You tell me right now, I'll give you $100 million, go back to Wall Street. I say, thank you. Give it to somebody else. $1 billion, I wouldn't go back to my life. $1 billion. Give me $1 billion cash, put it, tons, tables. On top of the table, go back, violate one Shabbat. $1 billion. I tell you, give it to your mother. Why are you insulting me like this? You think I'm going to go against Hashem for $1 billion? Go back to being mechalel Shabbat? Were you insane? Until you get to a point where you're disgusted from your past, you're always going to have these doubts in your mind. But I used to have this boyfriend. I used to have this girlfriend. I used to have money. I used to have this. You still never left. You're like, you're like a half a, you're like a fish that's like half cooked. You're not sure if you're going to get sick or not. You're not sure. And that's what happens. Until you get to a point where you have a clear understanding, a life without Hashem is not a life. Hashem says it's called death. It's death. If you are jealous of secular people, you haven't completed your tshuva. You haven't even begun your tshuva. You haven't begun your tshuva. You're impressed by these rich people that are rich Jewish people that are famous celebrities, and they go against Hashem. You're jealous of them. You haven't begun to do tshuva yet. Because you still think a life without God is an option for you. Which means you have no idea what you have. You have no idea what you have. Being the most lonely little environment in the world, you by yourself in a room, with a little bit of bread to eat every day and a sefer Torah, is much better to the infinite power than the richest man on the planet. Richest man on the planet doesn't have God. You in your little room, every day all you eat is one little, 3-day-old piece of bread. That's what you eat. But you have a sefer Torah with you, you keep Shabbat, you keep mitzvot. You have a little room, little shack, nothing, and bottom of a barrel. You live in like a half a sewer, half a house. You have a much better life than the guy that has $100 billion a month. You don't realize it? You're poorer than dirt. Even with the money, without the money, you have no idea. You have no concept. Why? Because you still think that the illusion is true. You think that this is really solid. I just told you, it's not solid. It's all 99.9% nothing. You want to go verify, go on Google, they'll tell you too. Rabbi Google is good. Knows science, knows everything. But the Rabotai, you have to stop. You have to stop believing the illusion. Now this takes work. This takes time. This takes a lot of itbonenut, a lot of reflection. Analyze yourself. You have to know yourself. Most important, you got to stop. Stop looking everywhere. Stop looking at everybody's pocket. Stop looking at everybody's face. Stop looking at what everybody else has. Stop looking at everything. Grass always looks greener. Always looks greener, but it's an illusion. It's an illusion. Everything is an illusion. You look at yourself, you look at your Sefer Torah, you look at HaKadosh Baruch Hu, nobody in the world is happier than you. But that's why you're going to see people that have trillions of dollars, billions of dollars, all types of things that people think is good. And they're the most miserable people on the planet. They commit suicide. They are addicted to drugs. They're addicted to alcohol. They're addicted to all types of things. Why are they addicted? Why do they have all these addictions? Because all of these addictions are forms of escape from their reality. Because their reality is not like the illusion. Their reality is horrible. You're going to see them laugh in a picture, but not in life. You're going to see them celebrate in a moment, but not in life. In life, they're addicted to a bunch of different things. They're constantly looking for new hobbies and new things to do to occupy time. I know this. I used to be one of them. You do stuff just to keep yourself busy. Oh, I'm going to go to the mall. Why? I don't know, just go shop around. What do you mean shop? You have nothing to do in your life? Go shop around? That's it? No, I'm going to go to my friend's house. For what? Have some coffee, chit-chat. That's it? Chit-chat? Talk to your friends? What are you going to talk about? Oh, we're going to talk about another friend that didn't show up. Psh, wow. Oh, talk about politics. Why do you care about politics? What, you think your opinion matters? That if you guys have a really good conversation, really good debate between you of who should be president, they're going to give you a call. We choose him. We're gonna pick the next president because he won the argument. People have all these discussions about politics, about this, about that. For what? Wasting their life. There's nothing smart coming out of their mind. I was on the way back from shul on Shabbat, and I heard these two teenagers who were walking in front of me. They're having a conversation between them. Hashem Yachem, I didn't know what to do with myself. But, their father was behind me, so I didn't have necessarily an opportunity to talk to these two kids. But the two kids are walking back from shul. Now, what are you going to talk about? You just finished shul in Shabbat. You were in shul for 3-4 hours. At the least, what are you going to talk about? Talk about parasha. Talk about, talk about food. I don't know. Talk about something, connected to Shabbat. You were in shul for 3-4 hours. Or parasha, Gemara, something. What are you talking about? One kid tells the other, he goes, when you sleep a little too much, the more you sleep, the worse your breath becomes. This is the conversation of two kids from yeshiva. This is what we're talking about Shabbat. Now I couldn't help myself. I'm reading a little book, but I hear this. They're next to me. So I'm reading a little thing. I walk around, I read a little book. And I'm thinking, what? Did you just say that? And that's a conversation between two kids. The more you sleep, the worse your breath becomes. I said, I think I just became stupider. I have to use this in a lecture, so at least maybe Hashem will unpunish me. Because now it became, for the purpose of Shiur Torah. Give these two boys zchut, something. Their stupidity was used for Torah. But this is what people talk about. Oh, you want to come over for coffee? Sure. What do you want to talk about? Oh, we'll talk about, next door neighbor. We'll talk about the economy. We'll talk about all the type of stuff. For what? Nothing. No purpose. No form of wisdom whatsoever comes out of people's minds. No form of wisdom. They talk about do nothing, act about. It's sad. It's sad. That's why, Rabotai, when you have a Kadosh Baruch Hu for real, you know how you know? You know how you know that you have a Kadosh Baruch Hu? You become like David HaMelech, small version. So David HaMelech says, Hashem, I love your Torah so much, all day it's my conversation. All day it's my conversation. All I talk about is you. I talk about Hashem all day. I talk about Torah all day. Now, of course, once in a while, you got to take care of the bills. Oh, honey, we got to take care of this bill. And there's little mundane things you have to do to live, to survive in this world. Okay, did you buy some salt? Did you buy some milk? You have to do that just to live in life. But the majority of your life is not this. What do you do with the rest of the time? What do you do with the rest of the time? You talk about baseball. Talk about the stock market. Talk about the money you don't have. Talk about the what do you talk about? Shtuyot. Okay, so you don't have Hashem mamash. How do you have Hashem? You have Hashem when all you talk about is Him. That's when you have a Kadosh Baruch Hu. All you want to talk about is a Kadosh Baruch Hu. All you want to learn about is a Kadosh Baruch Hu. You don't care about all the Shtuyot in the world. All you care about is a Kadosh Baruch Hu. Wow, you say, oh. And that's why the closer you are to Hashem, the further you become from the people that are not. And that's what is one of the growing signs of your tshuva, where you see that the closer you become to Hashem, the less you have in common with the people from your past. Even if you grew up with them for 20, 30, 40 years, your best friend, your brother and sister, your even mother and daughter, whatever it is. But until that point, before you started doing tshuva, you guys were on the same point. You were starting level. But then you started progressing. All you want to talk about is more Shiur Torah, another Shiur Torah, another chidush, another parasha, another Gemara, another story about tzaddikim, more about Hashem, more about emunah, more about bitachon. More. All you want is this. The more you get, the more you want, because you see how beautiful it is. It gives your life a meaning. You're developing your mind. You're developing your life. You start feeling there's a purpose to your creation. Everything starts making sense. Everything starts having a value. And then your friend still wants to talk about the weather. So, it took me 15 minutes to get here today, not 14 minutes like yesterday. Why? Because I took the I-95 last time, but this time I took the turnpike. One of the lowest forms of conversation is talking about your traffic, of how you went from one place to the other. This is like the number one conversation that starts off, when you get to somebody. Oh, so how long did it take you to get here? 45 minutes. 45 minutes? Crazy. It took me 30 minutes last time. 30 minutes? How'd you go? Turnpike. No, I took I-95. You should listen to me. You should listen to like a Talmid Chacham. I took the turnpike. No, so next time, this time I took a turnpike and it took me an hour. Oh, yeah, because on Thursdays there's traffic. You should have asked me. And that's what they talk about. They talk about traffic. They talk about traffic. You should go to my guy. He knows the road. You should use this app. Use this app. Use Google? No, I use maps. Oh, and they talk about mamash nothing. Nothing. Shtuyot. Empty like the atom. Nothing. Why? They have no Kadosh Baruch Hu. How can you have anything? How can you have anything if you don't have a Kadosh Baruch Hu? It's like a little mouse running around. Even the mouse is like, you know what? I'm going to sleep. Heck with you. He won't even talk about traffic. You don't need me for traffic. Do yourself. We're talking about the app. What app you downloaded this week? You're running out of space in your phone. That's what you're talking about. Talking about running space out of the phone. Ma'afti Toratecha kol hayom mesichati. David HaMelech says, I love your Torah so much. All day I talk about it. All day. All day I like your Torah. All day. Okay, so I got to take care of the bills, and I have the kids, and you have the wife, and you have the husband, and you have basic stuff you got to do. But at every single free moment that you're not dealing with the mundane, all day Torah. All day HaKadosh Baruch Hu. All day. All day. Sometimes you're talking about it to help somebody, give them chizuk. Sometimes you're talking about it for yourself. Sometimes you're learning something new. Sometimes you're repeating something again that you've learned already. Sometimes you're telling something to somebody else. Whatever it is, but all that you're involved in it. That's a life. That is priceless. Priceless. If you know what it feels like. But people that live the world of lies, they think that if you have money, or you have a house, or you have a certain woman, or a certain man, or certain possessions, that's better. Well, once you get to that point and you have all that stuff, you realize it's not only it's not better, it's actually worse. Because the poor guy has the hopes that one day when he's rich, he'll be happier. The rich guy knows that the money means nothing, and he has nothing to look up to, nothing to look forward to. That's why rich people are the only ones that have a problem of suicide. Poor people usually don't commit suicide because they still have hope. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is telling us you don't have to commit suicide, whether you're poor or you're rich. You don't have to become addicted to drugs, whether you're poor or you're rich. You don't have to become addicted to immorality, whether you're poor or you're rich. The only addiction that you should have that's highly recommended is HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Become addicted to Hashem. Learn as much as possible about Hashem, and you will see a life that everyone is going to become jealous of. Because you're going to be the only one that's going to walk around like you know what's going on. Everyone is in a panic. 30 missiles. You're walking around like, what? What are you guys scared of? What's happening? What? You didn't hear? Iran declared what? So, why are you so scared? Why, you come to your house? No, but maybe it's going to come. Oh, why are you not scared? It's my father did it. What do you mean why I'm not scared? Why won't we be scared? I tell my father what to do. My father's the one that shot the missiles. What do you mean your father? Your father's Iranian? No, Kadosh Baruch Hu, you moron. Kadosh Baruch Hu shot the missiles. Kadosh Baruch Hu shot the missiles. What do you mean? Why am I going to tell Kadosh Baruch Hu what to do? When you're with a Kadosh Baruch Hu all the time, none of this stuff, none of this anxiety exists. Doesn't exist anxiety. You may get annoyed here and there, but anxiety doesn't exist. You're annoyed because you're not 100%. You're less. You have issues. But the point is, Rabotai, I'm telling you. The only thing in the world you need is a Kadosh Baruch Hu. The more Kadosh Baruch Hu you have, the richer you are. Everything else becomes meaningless. Whether you have money, you don't have money, it doesn't make a difference. You have money, you start looking at it like it's a hammer. Okay, so we have money now. Let's more mitzvot. More Kadosh Baruch Hu with this money. Let's buy more Kadosh Baruch Hu with this money. Let's bring more Kadosh Baruch Hu into with this money. You have a car. Okay, how can we use this car to get closer to Kadosh Baruch Hu? Can we drive to heaven? No, we can't, because we'll drive to the shul to get other people to come to heaven. Okay, we'll use this car for Kadosh Baruch Hu. Oh, this house. Okay, how can we use this house for Kadosh Baruch Hu? Oh, put Torah pictures all over and get the kids to start repeating, start singing in the house. Adon Olam. You know, that's what you do in the house. What do you mean? That's what you do in the house for Kadosh Baruch Hu. You start looking at things of how can I connect to Kadosh Baruch Hu. That's what you do. Why? Because you realize it's the best thing in the world.
אני מברך את הרבנים, רגע. אני מברך את הרבנים, הרב ירון ראובן, הרב אפרים כחלון, ראשי ארגון בעזרת השם, שהלכו בפי עליון, שעלו מעלה, יהיה להם ברכה והצלחה, הקדוש ברוך הוא ימלא בישועות ליבם לטובה ולברכה, שבכל מה שיפנו ישכילו ויצליחו, יזכו לעשות כאלה וכאלה, הודיעו תורה לאדירה, אמן ואמן.
בעזרת השם רשת בכל הארץ. הוא היהודי הזה, הוא היה מיליונר, סגר את כל הביזנס, אמר אני משקיע פה בעולמה של תורה.
איפה הוא גר?
בפלורידה.
פלורידה, איפה זה פלורידה? באמריקה.
במיימי. כן, ליד. אנחנו שם עכשיו הולכים להקים קהילה ספרדית.
חזק אותו בשמי.
קהילה ספרדית גדולה.
תעבירו מה שבירכתי אותו.
כן, קהילה ספרדית גדולה.